What's up, guys? Owen here, back with another Hand Productions video. Just want to say thank you guys for 10 subscribers. Really awesome to see the support that I got on this channel. I think 4 videos got 100 views. I think almost 30 likes, and yeah, it's truly awesome to see my videos like getting traction, getting support. But today we're gonna be ranking every single quarterback in the NFL. Instead of doing individual like player faces or whatever on the tier list, it's me tier list by the way. It's just gonna be individual teams since there was like probably over 45, I would say, starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year. But yeah, so thank you guys again for 10 subscribers, and yeah, enjoy the video. And the first team is the Arizona Cardinals, and for the Arizona Cardinals, I'd have to put it at a C because I thought Kyler Murray played decent. I thought Clayton Tune was pretty bad, and I thought Josh Dobbs played okay. So overall rating, I would give it a C. Um, you know, New head coach, obviously Kyler Murray, like I said, was injured most of the year. But overall, they played okay. Solid C tier, I would say. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons, and in my opinion, this is a D, absolute dumpster fire quarterback situation. They were just, tossing it up. Who's going to start? Is either Heineke or Ritter or Desmond Ritter, and both of them are pretty bad. So right in D tier. Um, Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson pretty much the entire year, and though he won MVP, I do not think he was the best quarterback in the NFL this year. Stats don't really pop out. Didn't play amazing in the playoffs, I thought. And, you know, I didn't think he was the best quarterback in the NFL this year. I thought they were better. But next up, Josh Allen, and I might get some heat for this, but I'm putting him above Lamar Jackson. I might be a biased Bills fan, but 51 total touchdowns for Lamar Jackson, or 51 for Josh Allen to like 29 of Lamar Jackson, like huge difference. And I thought throughout the season Josh Allen played better than Lamar. So yeah. Next up, we have Carolina Panthers, straight to D tier. In fact, you can probably add a tier for them. Or let me edit this. Add a row below. Right to F. Added that. Had to add a whole new tier for the Panthers, but that's an F tier if I've ever seen one. That was really, really bad this year. In fact, I'm gonna move the Falcons in with them. Now they created the F tier. Both of them were really, really bad this year, quarterback situation wise. Like Bryce Young disappointing. Andy Dalton was okay. I think he had one start maybe, but other than that, it was dumpster fire for them. For both of these teams. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears, and I'll rate it a C. Not amazing. They're not bad either. They're not D or F, but they're not B or A, so right in the middle is fine. Fields was okay. Bagent, he was serviceable. Solid C tier. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this is an easy A tier for what they went through. I mean, Burrow was bad the first few weeks, then he was good again, then he got hurt, but then Browning actually played pretty well, I thought, despite them not making the playoffs. So yeah, solid A tier, especially what they had to go through. Next up, Dallas Cowboys. Um, in my opinion, I think this is an easy A tier. I mean, they're probably the best um passing team in the NFL, I would say. I mean, just like passing the ball. Not necessarily the best team, but like they would constantly have, like 4+ touchdown games with Dak, and it truly was like a crazy year for, Dak, because I thought he did really well, but then in the playoffs he just was bad. So crazy year for the Cowboys, but quarterback play was an A tier. Alright, so I'm gonna do Cleveland Brown next because I think this list got messed up for some reason when I loaded it in, but Cleveland Browns going right in A tier. I have a lot of teams in A tier because, they lost Deshaun. PJ Walker had to start a game. Dorian Thompson Robinson started the game. I think he started two actually, and then Joe Flacco obviously winning comeback player of the year. All four of those guys were solid, I thought. They made the playoffs, got the 5 seed. And in my opinion, you make the playoffs, you're automatic B or A tier. So yeah. Alright, next up, Denver Broncos. And even though quarterback play wasn't bad, I think it's got to go in D, just because like they lost their franchise quarterback pretty much with Sean Payton. Like that is a D for dumpster fire, pretty much. Like what just happened there? Like why did Sean Payton come in and immediately kick out Russell Wilson? Nobody knows, but yeah. Next up, we have Jared Goff for the Detroit Lions. In my opinion, this is an S. I mean, in my opinion, he played amazing this year. I mean, I thought he had better stats. I thought he played better as a quarterback, like a passer, than Lamar. And I have to put him in S tier. I mean, this team made the conference championship. Um, they didn't get the 1 seed, so they didn't get the bye. So they had to win 2 games. Really solid quarterback play. I would have to put it in S. I mean, yeah. Crazy what they did this year. Hopefully they'll be back next year because I think all of America was rooting for the Lions in the playoffs. At least all Bills fans. All right, next up we have the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm gonna give them the first B tier. They weren't amazing, but Aiden O'Connell, I thought as a rookie played decently well, and I thought both quarterbacks played better than these two teams right here. So I'd have to put it in the B tier. Next up, Green Bay Packers, and I would put it in the A tier. Like first year starter, and he's not a rookie, but he's a first year starter. Winning a playoff game and almost won a second one. I thought they should have been in the conference championship if they didn't. I wouldn't say choke, but they pretty much did. But yeah, so I think that's an easy A tier. Next up, we have Houston Texans and right in S tier. I mean, we're just basing this off of like pure quarterback play. And in my opinion, rookie quarterback with a new head coach and not an amazing wide receiver room, even like not, eye popping wide receiver room, that's an easy S tier for quarterback play right there. CJ Stroud, and I think even Case Keenum got a few starts. Yeah, he got a few starts in there. Like crazy what they did there. All right, next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm putting this in A tier. I mean, their rookie quarterback got injured and whatnot. I thought when Anthony Richardson was playing, who was that rookie quarterback? I thought he played well. I thought Minshew was really serviceable as a starter. And yeah, I think that it was a really solid year for Indianapolis. When they get Richardson back and maybe some wide receiver help for him, I think they're going to be really, really good for the next coming years. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars going right into B tier. They were really, really good to start the year. I think they were 8-3, something like that. Then they fell apart. Lawrence didn't look the same, so I put it in B tier. If they would have made the playoffs, they would have been an A tier. If they would have even kept up the trajectory they were on, they would have been easy A tier, S tier. But missing the playoffs like how they did, not great. You know what I mean? Not great. All right, next up we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, easy S tier. I'm counting playoffs by the way too, and you know, easy S tier. I mean, he's Mahomes. He's gonna be S tier every year. He's basically like you know the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I'm a Bills fan, but even I can admit it. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. All right, next up, Los Angeles C tier. I thought Herbert was okay when he played. I mean, 20 touchdowns. I think 7 interceptions. I think he was 5-8. Like amazing. Um, and then Easton Stick started a few games and he wasn't great. So C tier. C for average, I guess. It was an average quarterback play. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams, and I'm gonna put it as a solid B tier. Probably the best B tier. I'll put it in front. For the best B tier out of this, the B tiers. Like Matthew Stafford came back from an injury-ridden season, and he played pretty well. They made the playoffs. They almost won the playoff game that they played in. So yeah, that's a solid B tier. I mean, if you made the playoffs, you're an automatic B tier quarterback. All right, next up, we have the Miami Dolphins, and I thought Tua played well, and I would probably have to put him on the same tier as these guys, even though I don't think he was definitively better than Matthew Stafford and the Rams. But I thought Tua was solid. Again, he still hasn't gotten his first playoff win. Um, I thought he played pretty well, but like the ending of the regular season and then that playoff game didn't help his chances at getting the highest paid quarterback badge. So yeah. Next up, Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins. I think started again. I think Kellen Mond even. No, not Kellen Mond. What's his name? Jaron Hall, or whatever, from BYU. Overall, B. I mean, for what it's worth, all the injuries. I thought Kirk Cousins played well when he played. I thought Josh Dobbs looked like comeback player of the year for a few weeks there, but then, he got benched. The Nick Mullins was okay. Actually, I moved down the C tier. It was alright. It wasn't amazing. They didn't make the playoffs or anything. Right. Next, New England Patriots, already where I'm going. F tier. Bailey Zappi, not amazing. Mac Jones, probably worst quarterback in the NFL. Even though we beat the Bills somehow, some way. I don't know how that happened, but other than that, other than that moment right there, Patriots season truly was horrible. It was a horrible season. Next, we have New Orleans Saints. Forgot. I think it was only Derek Carr, but I think Jameis might have gotten a few starts. Either way, it's a C tier. It wasn't great quarterback play. They didn't make the playoffs again. C, average. Next up, New York Giants, D tier. Again, not amazing. Um, it wasn't great. He had Tommy DeVito for like a few weeks, but then he stunk, and then but Tyrod was pretty decent to end off the year. But Daniel Jones when he played was really really bad. And yeah, so D tier. Next up, we have the New York Jets, F tier, just because like what happened during this that season. I mean, I think they got what 6, 7 wins. Maybe they might have gotten 5. I don't even know. It was just dumpster fire. Plus Aaron Rodgers, and then it was just like Zach Wilson, and then Zach Wilson looked good, and then he looked bad, and then they think they got Tim Boyle a start or two, and then Brock Osweiler. It was just dumpster fire. Like along with this bad. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, B tier. They were looking like they were gonna go back to Super Bowl for the first what I think 11 weeks of the season or 12 weeks, and then crashed and burned, and they one and done in the playoffs. Not even one and done. They got bounced. I think first game. I would say one and done because they played in the game, but might not have been the correct terminology. But other than that, um, yeah. I mean, they made playoffs. You're not automatic B tier quarterback play, but I don't think it was up there. With Dak or even Tua. Honestly, I thought Jalen Hurts didn't look great. I don't think he looked as good as Tua. In the ending weeks, I would say. Actually, I'm gonna move Tua down to B because if Jalen Hurts is a B, then Tua has to be a B. So I'm switching up the list as we go, seeing how it is. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers D. Kenny Pickett stinks. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh fans. He is not good. He's not a good quarterback in the NFL. I hate to say it, but he's bad. He's so bad. Like, I think he's got 13 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in the I think 24 games that he's played. It's horrible. I think they're gonna stick with him too, which is bad. So it's gonna automatic D. I mean, Mason Rudolph played well, but again, he wasn't outstanding, I would say. So I'd put it at D. Next up, Seattle Seahawks. Solid C. They make the playoffs, so I thought Smith was decent, and I thought Drew Lock, and I think the one game he played was really good, so we'll put it at C. It's right along the lines of the Vikings and stuff, and yeah, it was alright. Next up, San Francisco 49ers. I would say A tier. I would say A tier because I don't think he's on a level as all these guys. I like Brock Purdy, but you can't deny the fact that he's got a literal all-pro offense surrounding him, which isn't his fault, but that's the truth. I mean, they made the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and I'll bump it up to S tier actually. I mean, they made the Super Bowl, so I would say S tier, but probably the worst quarterback out of all of these on S tier. So yeah, I think it's a good S tier. Next up, we have Baker Mayfield. I think it's an automatic A tier. I mean, he was really good this year. He won a playoff game. Thought he played really, really solid this year for like what I think a 2 year or even a 1 year $8 million contract. Super, super solid playing, and again, for what it's worth, that's an A tier. Next up, Tennessee Titans, D tier. Willis, I think could be good, or Levis. Willis is not good. Tannehill stinks now. I mean, I never thought he was that good anyway, but he did not look great this year, and yeah, I think Will Levis can be good, but I wouldn't, bet the house that he's gonna be the future for the Tennessee Titans. But we'll see. We never know. I mean, this is rookie year. Next up, Washington Commanders, media F. Their quarterback led the league in turnovers, yet everyone likes to say that, oh, he's still good. It's his offensive line. You know, I'm not gonna say one that there's double standards here, but why isn't Sam Howell being called the worst quarterback in the NFL? Or like a turnover machine while Josh Allen is. As a Bills fan. It's an F. I mean, he's not that good. I mean, what, 22 turnovers or I think 21 in the regular season? I don't know. I don't know. It's one number, but he's not that good. Like, so many interceptions. I mean, he's got good weapons around him. I don't know, understand it, how this dude had such a fall off to end the year and how, like, even he could be in D. I don't think he can be any tier higher than F. I think it's got to be an F. So, yeah, this is my rankings. This is my rankings for every single, all the quarterbacks that played, really, for each team. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching to the end. Hope you enjoyed the video. And, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.